Hey guys, Scott Fishman here at the WWE 2K23 launch party with one of my good friends, Bryan Williams. Bryan, it's been a long time. I mean, we go way back. Just talk a little bit about your role with the game, coming back after all these years, and kind of what you make of everything.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's great to see you too, Scott. It's been a while. Glad to have you at this event. I'm sorry, what was that question?
Yeah, what's it like being back? I mean, just talk about your journey back to WWE 2K games and WWE games in general.
Yeah, so, I was with 2K originally up until 2014, where I helped them finish out WWE 2K15. Spent some time with Ukes, several years in fact, working on the franchise still, but from the developer side. So 2K19 was my last at the time. And last year, 2022, I get a very fortunate and important text from one Mr. Lionel Jinx, a guy who, from my past working at 2K, I was always very fond of, a good man, a guy, he's our creative director now. He has been, steering this franchise in the right direction, and he wanted to know how I was doing, if I had maybe entertained the thought of maybe coming back onto to 2K and continuing my work on the franchise after so many years of doing it. I mean, the first game that I did was in 2005, SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. So when it comes to this franchise, I'm kind of, I guess, an old G.
Yeah.
But this franchise has always meant so much to me. And when I got that text from Lionel, I mean, I leapt at the chance, at the opportunity to come back, and to what I told him, it's like I want to come home. I love the WWE, I love pro wrestling, and I am 43 years old now, but I mean, I spent my adult career life, being able to participate and shape the creative direction of this franchise, and it's important to me, and this game is important to me, and the fans are important to me, and I'm back, and 2K23, last year, what was it? It hits different, and now we're hitting it even stronger. This team that I'm working with, Scott, the animators, the programmers, the designers, the engineers, like these are some of the most impressive, bright, knowledgeable people that I've ever had the privilege of working with. And if this game is of any great quality, and it is, it's because of that collective work of everybody on this team. A team that Lionel and Colin, our management team, that they put in place. And so I'm just happy to be back up for the ride.
So take us a little bit behind the curtain. What's your role? I mean, for people that don't know over the years, and kind of how has that changed maybe this time around?
Yeah. So previously, under the THQ, when the game was being published by THQ, I was my actual title was game designer, but I was more of a conceptual game designer. Like, I'm no coder, I'm not a programmer. I just come up with ideas, put those ideas on paper, and at the time, working with youth, I would send those designs to them. Gets translated, and then I would work with them on seeing that idea, that mode come into fruition. Now that I'm back at 2K again, working on this project, I'm an associate gameplay producer. So it's a slightly different role, but honestly, the job title is more apropos of what I was doing before. Because again, I'm not a game designer in the actual sense. I can come up with a good idea, so I still do that. Again, working with the gameplay team, but I'm also more on not the management side, but I'm there mostly to help the team eliminate any roadblocks that are placed in front of them. I work with another contracted employee to help with moveset creation, and I work with the animation team as far as indexing and the implementation of a lot of the combat animations that go into custom moveset. So like everyone on the team, everybody wears like a lot of different hats.
Yeah.
And I'm here today promoting the game.
Yes. What are you most excited about? What are you most proud of from this particular game?
Oh man, there's just so
go on
much.
Forever. I was going to say
just so much. Well, obviously, the big thing here is war games.
Yes.
That's the big new match type for this year. And when I say big, I mean literally and figuratively. It is the biggest match type that this franchise has ever seen. And I know how long we've been trying to get this match type into the franchise. And I'm glad that, the team has taken their time and they waited for the right opportunity, the right moment when everything was lined up. And honestly, the success of 2K22 and all of the advancements that were made towards the engine in that game has led us where we are now, to where we were able to actually see this match type that involves placing 2 rings in the arena environment, surrounded by a steel cage. You know, that couldn't have been done properly in years past. You know, the technology we caught up to that. The right team was in place to see this match type into fruition, and it is here, and it is grand, and it is beautiful. Beautiful, chaotic, just mayhem, and I think fans are going to love it. I think we've done the match proud. I mean, it's the first that, for the franchise's history, it's the first that you can have weapons in a cage environment. The match will support 3 versus 3 and 4 versus 4. Of course, online support as well. It's fun. I mean, the couple days before you come in here for this event, I was just at home just playing it, boning up. No one that I know it inside and out, but I just had to make sure.
Well, you're a fan, so
I'm a fan, yeah, and that's the thing too.
The important part. That's the important part with these games is, I mean, pro wrestling is so unique. It's such a unique world, so it does take someone who has that appreciation for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And another thing that I'm also very happy about this year, excited, is the showcase. This is the best showcase that we've done, hands down. And, the second one involving Cena, I worked on that first one with Cena in 2K15. This one trumps it in every way. Shout out Dino. He's here somewhere. You might want to talk to him about this too. It is amazing. It's about Cena. He's the star, but we flipped the whole idea of showcase where in years past, whoever the subject was, you played as them throughout the course of the mode. This year, it's all about Cena's fortitude and his never give up mindset and attitude, except we're covering all of his losses. So you're actually playing as all of Cena's opponents, the opponents that have beaten him in his career.
Very unique.
Very unique, and it's just a super fun mode to play. John Cena, obviously took part in it, and he filmed about, I think, 35, 38 minutes worth of footage, and he narrates and kind of introduces each of the opponents. And I've said in other interviews where you could take that footage, put it on television, and I think it'll pop a rating. Like it's that well done. And we all know how good of an orator.
He's on like every commercial right now, so.
Right, yeah. I mean, John Cena is John Cena. It's like the performance is hands down. It's amazing.
Just lastly, because I know we could talk all day about the video game, but it's interesting because 2K22 rebounded, and I feel like there was a huge, really quick turnaround time for this game again. So you guys overcoming that challenge, just producing a quality game. Talk a little bit about that and kind of what you want to see now. You're kind of back in the mix from future games as a fan and as someone who works with the games.
Well, yeah. Well, in terms of bouncing back from because basically, 2K, they had extra time to develop 2K22. I believe it was a year and a half. I believe it was that. So, and then again, I think, all the hard work and the effort that the team put into 2K22, that success and, bringing the franchise back to its glory is what set us back on that path for the annual release. And so everything, all the hard work was in place. I know that when I rejoined the team, it was right in the middle of finishing up DLC for 2K22. So I remember this was in May, and I had already seen an early glimpse of War Games, and I was like, wow, you guys are here already in May, because I know that going back on that annual release schedule is grueling, but at the same time to see that they already had a functional, playable, and again, it was early, but of War Games, I was like, okay, this team is something special. We're here, like this game cannot not do well. And so, I think that the team, although they had extra time for 2K22, this team is still up and knowing that, okay, this game is normally released annually, and we're back to that schedule. So everybody had their assignment, everybody was on that same mission, and everybody's got it done, And as far as where I'd like to see the franchise go, it'd be spoilers. I don't want to give away,
Fair enough.
Whatever I have in my head, but I do know that, myself and the rest of the team, we are never at a loss for ideas and things that we want to see added to this franchise to keep it going. We're going to keep that momentum going. The momentum started at 2K22, continues to roll with 2K23 until onward.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the time, and congrats on everything. Looking forward to the game release.
Good to see you again, man.